And we're on. What's going down, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. I was getting my shit together for today's stream. It took me a little while. I had to restart the browser. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, just before I start this one, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody who sent me nice messages so far about the Billy Crane interview that I just put up on the channel, talking about his work with the U.S. Army veterans. Billy was an incredible guest, man, and it was really great to have him on. So if you guys didn't check it out yet, make sure to hit my channel. There's a lot of brand new content up there right now. I'm posting like a machine. I am so close to my 50,000 subscriber goal that, you know, I'm not going to stop. Basically, I'm going to keep this train pushing until we hit the 50K. That's what I'm going to do. There's no other way to do it. We're on all the way. If they're on 10, we're on 20. So check this out. I wish I could come to you guys with the big story of today for the stream as something positive. I wish I could bring you something that was going to uplift your day. But unfortunately, man, consistent with the trend of 2024 so far, this is some scandalous news. This is some tumultuous shit going on in the world of the WWE. So, of course, for those who don't know, Vince McMahon is the head honcho. He's the boss of the WWE, the founder, and he has now quit. This news coming in literally an hour ago, as of the time that we're here on this broadcast, due to a trafficking lawsuit and assault allegations that were made by former employees of the WWE. Now, obviously, you know, this is alleged up until this point, and I'm going to say allegedly because I don't believe that this has been proven yet, but he has stepped down and resigned. Although Mr. McMahon, as it says here, we're about to read the article, does completely deny the allegations made against him up until this point. So let's go ahead and read here from the BBC. Hopefully this is something the BBC can report properly and get their facts straight on. Although you never know. You never know with a company like them. So it says, Janelle Grant alleges that Vince McMahon and another ex-executive assaulted and trafficked her to entice wrestling talent. Wow. So straight up an ex-employee accusing the WWE of knowingly trafficking women through their organization. Vince McMahon, who is 78 years old, said in a statement that he had made the decision to resign as an executive chairman of TKO, the parent company of WWE. He has denied the allegations. I want to find the actual statement. I don't want to just read like how they paraphrase the statement. So let's look. Vince McMahon's statement. It's probably on his socials, right? If it's not on this link, it's probably on his socials. Because I hate it when people are paraphrasing what somebody says. Okay, I think this is it here. Wait, no. Vince McMahon. We're going to find it, goddammit. I'm determined. All right, I think that's the best we're going to get. Fuck it. I stand by my prior statement that Ms. Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and a vindictive distortion of the truth. He continued, I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. However, out of respect for the WWE universe, the extraordinary TKO business and its board members and shareholders, partners and constituents, and all of the employees and superstars who helped make WWE into the global leader it is today, I have decided to resign from my executive chairmanship and the TKO board of directors effective immediately. There you go. So that is the official statement here from Vince McMahon. It's not looking good. Let's see what the chat's saying so far. I'm not shocked. I mean, the thing is, Kyle, when a rich businessman executive type is charged with any sort of crimes like this, it is not shocking. It's never shocking. So I could definitely get behind that. What up, Tyler? Today's the Royal Rumble? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. You think Brock Lesnar's involved? I don't think Brock Lesnar's involved at all. Okay, so let's jump back into this. So basically, the last statement that he made was, again, this lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made-up instances. So Vince McMahon is sticking to his story, but he's still stepping down and resigning. So this is a big deal for the fans of WWE. I definitely have had peripheral knowledge of the organization. I think I have respect for what they've built in terms of brand recognition and marketing and building a company. But if this does turn out to be true, man, that wipes away that respect, and also it's going to change a lot in terms of perception. This is a business that has been part of many, many people's lives. This business is part of people's childhood, is part of their bonds with their own children, with their family. It's a family thing, going to wrestling. And I may not be that guy, but I have friends, for instance, who are huge wrestling fans, and they go to every wrestling event in their area, and it matters to them. It matters a lot. So this is going to be a big blow. It's going to be a big blow to the people who really identify with this. And if you can't relate to that, just think about something you identify with. Again, this guy here says, Tyler, as a wrestling fan, Vince McMahon is guilty. I mean, it's possible, Tyler. It's possible that he is guilty. Again, we don't exactly have the answers yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this video here. There's a video that sort of breaks down the allegations in more detail. I have not watched this video yet, so it's going to be my first time. And I'm very curious to sort of hear this. This video, actually, talk about foreshadowing. This video came out yesterday. And the video is called Vince McMahon is Finished. Or sorry, The End of Vince McMahon is what it's called. So, yay, you called it, brother. This may be the end of Vince McMahon. So let's take a look at this, and we'll make a comment or two throughout.
Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon and former WWE executive John Laurinaitis are being sued for sex trafficking and the WWE for negligence. We'll take a look at everything we know so far based on a Wall Street Journal article and court documents. Now, please keep in mind that some of the details of this story are incredibly graphic and may trigger survivors of sexual assault or harassment. Also, bear in mind that these are allegations and should not be construed as proof of anything. Nevertheless, it paints Vince McMahon in a horrible light, and this could truly be the end of him. First, let's look at the summary of the allegations. This new lawsuit follows a 2020 hush money scandal where McMahon allegedly paid off several females to sign NDAs relating to various affairs. This lawsuit is being filed by Janelle Grant, one of the individuals who signed an NDA agreement in 2022. Here's a summary from the...
Oh, okay. So the woman who was filing this current trafficking lawsuit was already paid off by Vince McMahon. So my question is, did she break her NDA and start talking, or did she get out of the NDA somehow? Maybe she got a deal where if she could provide enough, X amount of information, maybe they would drop the NDA and let her talk. Maybe she just broke it outright, and, the benefit for going ahead with this lawsuit was maybe enough to keep her out of trouble. There's a lot of things that could happen, but it's important to note, I think, before we continue with the video, that the woman with this lawsuit has a past history with Vince McMahon.
25th January edition of the Wall Street Journal. Janelle Grant, a former employee at the wrestling firm's headquarters, said in a lawsuit filed Thursday that she was abused and sexually exploited by McMahon while he was chief executive. She alleged that McMahon lured her with promises of career advancement, and then he allegedly exploited her and trafficked her to other men inside the company. The complaint filed against McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE contains detailed allegations. The complainant alleges that McMahon and Laurinaitis engaged in coercive behavior, including physical and sexual assault, resulting in physical and emotional damage to Miss Grant. In addition, the complainant alleges that some WWE executives and employees were fully aware of the behavior directed at Miss Grant and
Who, this guy? Nah, not him. Look at him. He looks so trustworthy. It's fucking terrifying.
Nothing to remedy this situation. The Wall Street Journal report states, Grant signed an NDA agreement in 2022 in which McMahon agreed to pay $3 million for her to not discuss their relationship or to disparage him.
$3 million he paid her already, and she's still talking. Man, this is almost like the Diddy situation with Cassie. Like, she's been paid, but they had to pay her a lot more for her to go away. Listen, we haven't heard a word from Cassie since Diddy paid her, what, 30 mil? This is what it might take, but listen, he's already stepped down.
WWE received an anonymous tip in 2022 about the relationship and started a board investigation which uncovered other payments by the CEO to women. Grant's lawsuit said that McMahon stopped making payments under the 2022 deal after initial $1 million installment. The suit seeks to void the agreement and unspecified financial damages. While an individual is normally restricted from breaking an NDA agreement, Ms. Grant is arguing in the complaint that several aspects of the NDA voided, as well as federal, state, and common law. Other reasons given include that the NDA was obtained through coercion, that Ms. Grant was not allowed to rely on an independent attorney, and that the NDA violates the Speaks Out Act. The Speaks Out Act is a federal law which prevents the enforcement of non-disclosure agreements in instances of sexual assault and harassment.
Okay, so shout out to the guys who made this video. This really explains exactly the question I was just asking. If she signed an NDA, how does she get out of it? And sort of like I was thinking, I guess there's a clause called, what do they call it? The Speak Out Act. Okay. The Speak Out Act. That's a good act, actually, I think, because again, an NDA, you know, you're coming into court or you're coming up to authority basically with a piece of paper that's signed, saying, you know, I'm not going to talk, but there's no, you know, background check, you know, up until now as to how that paper got signed. You know, if you put a weapon to somebody's head and say, sign this fucking paper, you know, is that NDA still valid for the person not to talk? Of course not. That's ridiculous. So I think this is actually a good act. A rare law that makes sense. Oh, look at this. Joe Biden. This might be the first good thing I've seen Joe Biden do. This might be a rare Joe Biden W. He did something. He actually did something. Okay, back to the video.
Speaks Out Act is a federal law which prevents the enforcement of non-disclosure agreements in instances of sexual assault and harassment, a pattern of coerced acts and other abusive behavior. The complaint alleges numerous instances of coerced behavior by Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. There are many allegations, but the majority of them are too graphic to go into any detail here. Here are two as reported by the Journal article. Ms. Grant alleged that McMahon and another WWE executive locked her in an office in WWE's headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut on June 15, 2021 and took turns sexually assaulting her while other staff were working. A second incident is described as follows. In the middle of another workday on June 23, 2021, McMahon locked Grant in his private locker room at WWE's offices and forced himself on her over a massage table, the suit said. Later that day, McMahon's personal assistant delivered $15,000 in Bloomingdale's gift cards to Grant in her office.
What? Wow. If this is true, man, this is some super like there's no coming back from this. So he allegedly locked her inside of a private locker room at the WWE offices, forced himself on her over a massage table, allegedly, and later that day dropped her off $15,000 in Bloomingdale gift cards. That's like some twisted shit that you would see in like a 1970s like gangster style movie. That's like 1970s scumbag executive shit that you wouldn't think is actually real, but I guess, evidently it is real. This is unbelievable.
Other allegations include McMahon coercing the complainant into taking nude photos and videos of herself. On occasion, McMahon allegedly shared images and explicit videos with WWE employees, including WWE employees, unnamed executives, and stars, and directed her to have sex with him. In addition, McMahon allegedly sent texts telling Miss Grant that other individuals in the WWE wanted to have carnal relations with her. According to the complainant, Miss Grant repeatedly expressed her unwillingness to give in to the lewd request made by McMahon and Laurinaitis. The complaint also includes examples of various texts sent to Miss Grant telling her multiple partners would take her and they would do whatever they wanted with her. These text messages are way too graphic for YouTube, but I'll leave the full case filings in the description below. Allegations of fraud and coercion. One of the key allegations in the complaint is that Miss Grant was unable to consent to the carnal acts demanded of her, which made it abuse and assault. For example, two parts of the complaint noted, McMahon and Laurinaitis were well aware that a job at WWE and advancement and protections outlined above were of significant value to the plaintiff and used that against her. As a result, McMahon and Laurinaitis were able to force, defraud, or coerce Miss Grant into continued sexual activity because of the promises of job placement, job security, and advancement with the WWE and personal protections outlined above. Based on that, Miss Grant was employed at WWE from 2019 to 2022 when she left the company after signing an NDA. Now, the promises of
my question is, I wonder why she stuck around throughout that whole period of time. Like, either it started happening at the end of her employment. I didn't catch exactly, and I don't think they even said what year each one of these instances supposedly happened. But I'd be curious if she was pressured to keep working there and not say anything as things continued to happen to her as well. There's a lot of questions because, again, if they voided her NDA because they feel like she was pressured into it, what else was she pressured into doing? She could have easily been going through stuff like this through the whole time. And listen, look, it's been said before. I'm not the first person to say this. This is common knowledge for people who, not, common knowledge in general, but for people who sort of either know people in showbiz, so to speak, or have knowledge of it. People were talking about Harvey Weinstein, and they'll talk about specific people, but there's 100 Harvey Weinsteins out there right now. That's really the sad reality that we got to look at. There's people worse than Harvey Weinstein that are out here, and it's not a contest, but it's just a fact. This is real shit. Not to mention the trafficking that's allowed by governments. The large scale trafficking. That's allowed by governments that's not spoken about, that people act like it doesn't happen. The idea that there's small scale trafficking going on and stuff like this is small scale in comparison to a lot of the stuff that's actually even going on. That's really what we need to keep in mind too.
Job placement, job security play a big part in this case, as Miss Grant alleged that her parents had recently passed away, and being in such a vulnerable state and financially in compromised position, the lure of job promises and job security played a huge part in her taking on the job. But who's the wrestler mentioned in the complaint? The complaint also alleges that Vince McMahon was ready to entice a wrestler into signing a new deal with the company by having Miss Grant sleep with said wrestler. In March of 2020, McMahon began sharing sexually explicit photographs and videos of Miss Grant, including pornographic content he recorded with other men both inside and outside the company, including with members of the television production tech team, executives, producers, and a world-famous athlete and former UFC heavyweight champion with whom WWE was actively trying to sign a new contract, and ultimately did sign that contract.
Wow. So that is the definition. Again, that's the definition of small scale trafficking. Basically using this girl to help sign contracts as part of a contract. Like, he had humans in the contract, allegedly. Again, this is all alleged. He's innocent until proven guilty, but this is real. Like, this is really real stuff that happens every day. And like they said, the tech team was in on it. He had the camera guys coming in on it. He had the executives, the board of executives coming in on it. You know, look at this office. People probably drive by this office. I think it's in Jersey. They probably say, wow, WWE headquarters. That's amazing. So many cool, innovative ideas. So much awesome stuff. Cool, fun, wholesome stuff is going on in there, in that building. And this is what's going on in the goddamn building, man. This is disgusting. This is sickening.
The Wall Street Journal article reported on the wrestler's possible identity as people familiar with the matter identify the wrestler as Brock Lesnar, one of the WWE's biggest names. Lesnar did not immediately respond Thursday to the request for
Hold on
comment.
a second. People were talking about Brock Lesnar in the chat earlier. So don't tell me he was named. I got to hear that again.
Former UFC heavyweight champion with whom WWE was actively trying to sign a new contract and ultimately did sign that contract. The Wall Street Journal article reported on the wrestler's possible identity as people familiar with the matter identify the wrestler as Brock Lesnar, one of the WWE's biggest names.
Okay. Who said it earlier in the chat? Because I got to give you your props. Somebody was saying Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Tyler, you were right, dude. It's Brock Lesnar. Mython, you gotta hold the L, brother. You know I love you. Wow, okay. So Brock Lesnar, again, allegedly involved. That's crazy. Metaphoria, it's insane.
Lesnar did not immediately respond Thursday to the request for comment, as said wrestler is not actually named in the lawsuit. But the fact that it says a former UFC heavyweight champion and Brock Lesnar returned around SummerSlam 2021, it seems quite obvious as to who they're referring to. What makes it even worse is a report from Fightful Select, which reports that Brock Lesnar was actually scheduled to return to WWE TV and was supposedly entering the Rumble, but it was noted to Fightful on Thursday that in light of Lesnar's implied inclusion in the Vince McMahon lawsuit, that may now change. Or will this affect McMahon's status in TKO Holdings? One question sure to be raised is how the lawsuit will affect McMahon's status at TKO Holdings. McMahon, who is 78, is the current executive chairman of TKO Holdings and the company created following the merger of Endeavor and the WWE. Prior to the merger, McMahon maintained controlling shares in the WWE, but that is no longer the case. McMahon's 2022 hush money scandal continues to haunt him. McMahon is under investigation by the federal government. TKO Holdings noted in a statement filed in September 2023 that it is aware that McMahon's presence on the board of directors makes him a potential liability. McMahon's membership on our board could expose us to negative publicity and or have other financial and operational impacts.
Negative publicity? He's going to take the whole company down. You say you feel bad for Brock Lesnar. Why do you feel bad for Brock Lesnar? If he was involved, why do you feel bad for him? Just curious in the chat.
On our business, his membership may also result in additional scrutiny or otherwise exacerbate the other risks described herein. Any of these outcomes could directly or indirectly have adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. McMahon's future at TKO Holdings may be affected by a reported clause in his contract signed in March 2023 before the WWE merged with Endeavor. According to The Hollywood Reporter, McMahon, it should be noted, signed a new contract with the WWE on March 29th. According to a copy viewed by THR, McMahon's continued employment shall be conditioned on compliance with the company's conflict of interest and code of conduct, as well as its equal opportunity and non-harassment policy, among other terms. It's unknown whether
Hold on, somebody said
behavior, which at this point
John is saying Brock is pulled from Royal Rumble. Is that true? I'm going to have to look that up. If Brock Lesnar is actually pulled from the Royal Rumble, that would be... And when is the Royal Rumble? Because what a hell of a time for this to be happening. In the midst of all this shit, dude, I would not want to be having any type of event right now. This is a disaster right now. I'm about to go ahead and look this up. One second. Today. Let me look at this real quick. So yeah, it's supposed to be today. Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Brock Lesnar has been pulled. This is, I guess, breaking news from the WWE Royal Rumble. Woo! They are not, listen, the people who are sticking around to try to salvage what's left of this company, because we have to remember, guys, Vince McMahon, Brock Lesnar, these are just two guys who are the face of this company. There's probably 200 people across, America right now in boardrooms scrambling to fucking save their jobs and try to save this company, dude. So they're not taking any chances. If they want to salvage what's left of this company, they need to fucking kick every single person. This is exactly what I would do if I was, in the company and we had just kicked out Vince McMahon. I would say, anybody involved with this, you're fired, period. They're probably, they'll be compensated well. They'll probably get a massive severance pay. They'll probably make more money than they were making before the fucking scandal. And that's a sad reality. But think about it, man. You got to fire him and you got to move on. Not that he's fired. I mean, it's not to say that they won't have him back. But I would get rid of him completely if this turns out to be true. The only thing that would be sad is if this turned out to not be true. So, yeah. He's not expected to be part of the Royal Rumble. It was noted that Lesnar didn't travel to Florida for the event. He was at one point slated, but is not expected to return at the Rumble. He's been withdrawn. There we go, man. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at the rest of this video here, but appreciate the tip in the chat.
His conflict of interest and code of conduct, as well as its equal opportunity and non-harassment policy.
Hey, smash that like if you guys are enjoying the stream, man.
It's unknown whether past behavior, which at this point is only being alleged, would trigger this cause. However, it's likely McMahon would have to step down during any lawsuit. So will he face criminal charges? If there is substantial evidence to support any of these allegations against McMahon, he could face criminal charges. If a criminal prosecutor, either at the state or federal level, depending on any potential charges, decides to charge McMahon, the criminal case would take precedent over the civil case. However, there may not be enough evidence to pursue McMahon in criminal court, again depending on any evidence regarding the allegations. The level of proof for obtaining a criminal conviction is noticeably higher for a criminal case than it is a civil case. However, McMahon maintains his innocence in this lawsuit. A spokesperson for Vince McMahon has responded to the recent lawsuit and allegations made against him. This lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that
he's got the
never
one
occurred,
canned statement that he just keeps repeating over and over again.
Does not control TKO, nor does he. TKO Holdings Group also said in a statement, Mr. McMahon does not control TKO, nor does he oversee the day-to-day operations at WWE. While this matter predates our TKO executive team's tenure at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. So, what are the real consequences WWE could face? There are serious allegations being made against the WWE, with the complainant alleging that WWE executives were fully aware of the coercive behavior alleging directed against Ms. Grant by Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, yet failed to take any action to stop it. The lawsuit also alleges that WWE's investigation into McMahon's conduct involving NDAs and alleged conduct was a sham. In November 2022, WWE touted the conclusion of the special committee investigation into the misconduct, yet the special committee never even bothered to interview Ms. Grant or request any documents, despite Ms. Grant stating that she would cooperate.
Oh, okay. So now the rest of the company's looking shady. So look, maybe it's not possible to fire everybody involved, because I'm starting to think everybody was involved. Like, if everybody at every higher up level is involved, how do you cleanse the company? Everybody's just got to fire themselves. All the executives just got to step down. It doesn't make any sense. This company might go underground now. This company might not survive this, is kind of what I'm starting to think.
That she would cooperate. In SEC filings, the company tried to divert attention away from McMahon's abuse of women by focusing on the technical issue of how hush money was accounted for. In the words of the company, the issue was immaterial accounting errors related to certain payments that Mr. McMahon agreed to make during the period from 2006 through to 2022. In addition, the complainant alleges that WWE's management was fully aware of McMahon's alleged misconduct. As detailed herein, WWE employees, executives, and board members were aware of McMahon's exploitives involving plaintiff. Some were told, some were shown exploitative pictures, some witnessed unusual and overtly sexual behaviors by McMahon and or Laurinaitis. and others could not help but hear what was going on through the walls of WWE's headquarters.
Hear what's going
And for
on
case-
through the walls. Bro. In an office building? Like, you guys got to understand, if you're in an office building, the way that those buildings are built, you guys probably know, like, you can't hear shit through those buildings unless it's really, really, really loud. I lived in an apartment, for an example, that used to be an office building for a year. And we had a neighbor right next to us. And, you know, we had parties in that apartment with, you know, up to 10 people sometimes till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, blasting music. You know, me and my roommate were doing music. We do little concerts in there, actually hook up microphones to a preamp. So we're using microphones and amps in the room. And we asked our neighbor next door if he ever heard any noise from us the whole time that we lived there. We're like, did we ever bother you? Because we always wondered if they could hear us and maybe just didn't say anything. And he said, no, the way that this building is built, it used to be an office building, so I don't hear anything from you guys next door at all. He goes, the only time I heard you guys was when you were coming in one time at 4 in the morning and you were loud in the hallway. So, you know, thinking about it that way, you know, to be hearing, you know, alleged abuse echoing through the halls of the offices of WWE that is absolutely shocking. That's shocking. Like that is, again, this is the stuff of horrors, you know. People say, oh, all this stuff about Hollywood, you know, it's not real. Imagine you're in the waiting room at WWE and you hear shrieking and screaming and God knows what else coming through the hallways. This is, and it's not funny, but I'm saying, like, this is insane. This is beyond what you could make up in you know, a conspiracy theory on Reddit. And it's looking like it's real.
These can be sustained. The WWE knew about the allegations. Substantial damages might be obtained. Of course, we'll continue following this story and we'll have updates on our website. But what do you think of these allegations?
Yeah, man, this is insane. So for anybody who's just tuning in, man, Vince McMahon, of course, the founder of the WWE, caught up in a massive assault and trafficking lawsuit, stepping down from his position at WWE and TKO. Brock Lesnar now being pulled from the Royal Rumble, which is going to be happening tonight. And I honestly wonder what the vibe is going to be like at this Royal Rumble event tonight. I mean, it can't be a good feeling in the air when the man who is the mastermind behind all this, the man who sort of orchestrated everything, is being charged with, you know, such crimes, or at least accused of such crimes in a lawsuit. You know, I guess it's going to have to be a night of separating the art from the artist. You know, the one silver lining, I guess, for fans is that with the exception of the wrestlers that were named, you know, you can't blame these other wrestlers necessarily, you know, unless more comes out, for the wrongdoings of these executives, these production guys, these, you know, this sounds like it was mostly guys who were at the higher level of the WWE, guys who were, you know, more so behind the scenes. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't sound exactly like it was all the wrestlers and everybody involved, because this is a massive organization. But on the corporate level, it does sound like there was a lot of enabling. You know, let's go to this clip right here about Tarantino talking about Harvey Weinstein. And this will show. You know, it just goes to show what this is like. This is from the Joe Rogan podcast. When I just sent our guest, our potential guest, a message, by the way, guys. There's a guest who, if I can manage to get him on today, I'm going to be freaking out. So stay on for like the next 10, 15 minutes. If this happens, it's going to be insane. Nutso. My biggest guest yet. So this is Quentin Tarantino speaking on Harvey Weinstein. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it.
When I finished it and had been on the film festival circuit with it for a year, when Miramax bought it, Harvey tried to talk me into cutting the torture scene out. With Mr. Blonde and the guy in the chair and
getting
the ear.
his ear cut off.
Yeah. He tried to talk me out of that, and his reasoning was, he might ended up being right. All right. His reasoning was, look, Quentin, This is a movie that anybody can watch. But with that torture scene, you're going to alienate women. They're not going to want to see this. So you're putting your own movie in a little box. But without that scene, anybody can go and see this movie and everybody will enjoy it. And that's kind of actually where I became me, because Harvey was used to winning these type of arguments. And he had a bunch of yes men going, yeah, yeah, yeah. But because I had actually been on the film festival circuit for an entire year, one, I saw that he was right, because people were always walking out during that scene. Sometimes it would be 5, sometimes it would be 35. All right, they were always walking out, because also it's a film
I don't know exactly what movie he's talking about. I think it could be The Hateful Eight. It's one of the Tarantino movies that he made more recently in the last decade with Miramax and Harvey. I think like right before Harvey got caught, I'm pretty sure he made The Hateful Eight, and then there was that other movie they did. Maybe Django.
Well, you don't exactly know what you're seeing. You read in the catalog.
Dogs? Okay.
It sounds interesting. It's not like it's not like you're being set up the way you are when a movie opens theatrically.
Right.
But I did know that. That was the moment of truth for most people. That scene. But now I think it's the best scene in the fucking movie. So and I'd spent a year watching it, so I wasn't buffaloed. And I go, well, it's that movie. It's what the movie is, and you may be right, but I don't care. This is the movie, and it has that scene. And Harvey realized he wasn't going to get his way, and he's used to getting his way. I stood fast, and there was like a beat of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to leave the scene in, and I want you to remember that it was Miramax who left it alone.
Wow. That's an interesting way to control the situation, right? To take it and bring it all back to him. Mm. How weird is it for you to have had a relationship with that guy for all these years, making
Should have just skipped to this part. My bad.
Films, and now see what he's become?
It's sad. It's sad. It was like, he wasn't just this guy who financed my movies. He was, kind of like a father figure. I mean, he was kind of a fucked up father figure, but that's most people's fucking father. Yeah. He was a fucked up father figure, but he was like, he was involved in, my professional life for like a long, long time. So it's like, I think it's sad.
Oh, it's definitely sad. It's surreal though too, right?
Yeah.
Because we've never seen, other than Bill Cosby, we've never seen like a fall like this before. Mm. It's so strange.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is funny. Like I did an interview with the two women that cracked the case on the New York Times. I did a talk with them during that time. I don't really talk about it that much afterwards because I go, well, I did it with them and that's enough. But one of the things I ended up like saying is, well, I wish I had done more during the time. And a lot of people like read a lot of what that could possibly mean.
Right.
Well, actually what it means is I wish I had talked to the guy. I wish I had sat him down and had the uncomfortable conversation. I didn't know about any rapes or anything like that. I just, but I knew he was, I chalked it up to the boss chasing the secretary around the desk, as if that's okay. But I mean, that's how I kind of looked at it.
That's not what I heard, Quentin. That's not what I heard when Seth MacFarlane was making jokes at the Oscars about actresses not having to pretend they're like Harvey Weinstein anymore. But okay, well, listen, you can stick with your story. He's going to stick with his story either way.
He was, making unwanted advances. That's how I looked at it. But I wish I talked to him. I wish I had sat him down and go, Harvey, you can't do this. You're going to fuck up everything.
Do you think that no one talked to him and maybe that was how he got so completely out of control?
Yeah, maybe his brother Bob. Maybe, but I don't think anybody talked to him about it. And the thing about it is everybody who was in his orbit knew about it. There's nobody who said they didn't know that didn't know.
So that must include him, right? I mean, is he? I hope he's not trying to say everybody except for him knew about it, because, I mean, come on, man, he knew about it. Quentin, and Quentin, I have my doubts about Quentin Tarantino as well. I mean, I'm not trying to make it look like Quentin is some white knight who's trying to make a comment on the situation. If anything, Quentin might be a bad person to be speaking on this, because I've heard some creepy shit about Quentin too, but never of course, to the extent of Harvey.
If you're in his orbit, and that includes all the big actors who he palled around with, like they all knew. They didn't know anything about rapes, but they had heard.
Yeah,
they had heard things. They had heard about him just, putting the bite on somebody in a limo or something.
The story of the rich, powerful producer and the actress who wants to be in films is a story that's as old as film itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those stories that goes on. I mean, it was almost like, I mean, I don't really have a history in film, but from what it's been explained to me, that's always what it's been like.
Yeah, I know. They gave me a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios, and I'm taking a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios, and they take me into the screening room, and then like, okay, see that chair in the back there, that was reserved for the owner of the studio, Run Shaw. That's where he sat, and in the back room is a little bed, and that's reserved for where Run Shaw took the starlets.
What?
Really? Yeah. And it was all.
Well, he's right though. When you talk about back in the day, nobody has a problem with anything. Like, you can talk about all the creepy shit they used to do, and people are somehow cool with it. But I mean, if there was to be something like this now, and we're seeing it, as we speak with the Vince McMahon situation, it would not be received in this way. I mean, Quentin makes a couple of good points in that regard. I think through the years, this type of thing has been, and when I say this type of thing, I want to be very specific and clear about what I mean. I mean the flirting with the secretary type of stuff. All that I think was a lot more allowed back in the 70s, 80s. And then what it sort of became was something way past that. So I feel like now we've sort of gone the complete opposite way, where you can't even flirt with the secretary. You can't do anything. And in a work environment, I'm kind of cool with that. Like, I feel like, look, we're just here to work. That's always the way I've been in a work environment. I don't flirt with women at work. I don't want to get into that. We're all here to do a job and go home. I'm cool with that, but it definitely was seen differently, and I think that is why it eventually led to the rise of Harvey Weinstein's, Bill Cosby's, all these types of people, right? It says Quentin Tarantino's sus, weird fetishes, but that's about it. I mean, yeah, that's sort of what I meant, Jay, in the chat. Like, I don't care. Listen, I don't care, though. Like, if you have weird fetishes, as long as it's with consenting adults, I don't care. Like, that's not a problem for me. Quentin can do whatever he wants to do. Obviously, he's a creative genius. Again, with consenting adults is the fucking key word here. You can do whatever the fuck you goddamn want, in my books. Here, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my browser. So let me know what you guys think, man. Obviously, we're probably going to cover this Vince McMahon situation coming up again. It would not surprise me if there's a lot more coming with this story, a lot more that is yet to be uncovered. It also wouldn't it wouldn't really surprise me if this went to trial. That would not be a huge surprise. So let me know what you guys think, if you think he's going to get away with this. In the near future, you're starting your own wrestling promotion like WWE and AEW soon. Hey, man, good for you. Kill it, Tyler. Sounds like they're going to need a new wrestling federation coming up soon, so this may be your time, my friend. This very well just may be your time. Hopping over to Young Thug. Of course, we've been covering this Young Thug case like crazy, man. I mean, this has been, probably one of the hottest cases, lasting almost all the way through 2023, now into 2024. Now, this has been causing some controversy. A leaked jail call between Mariah the Scientist, of course, Young Thug's girlfriend, who's also an artist, and him has now been leaked online from Atlanta jail. This has caused a whole bunch of outrage from artists, such as Drake and different people who've been speaking out against this. So let's go ahead and look at this video right now. The leaked jail call from Mariah and Young Thug.
Christmas.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, Pete.
I miss you. And I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Thanks for my gifts.
Them chains heavy?
They heavier than the bracelets for sure. I miss you, baby.
I even thought the Cubans were bigger. I miss you too.
You thought what was bigger?
I said I thought the Cubans were bigger too.
Like thicker? Like
Yeah, like more. Yeah. They 14, I think.
I like it a lot. I'm very appreciative. Thanks, babe.
You know.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Damn, she seems like a sweet girl. I can't even lie. At least she appreciates it. And you know what? This conversation is funny because this is the exact type of conversation that you would hear in like a staged skit. Like you would think they would be putting this on for like an album. Like, are those chains heavy enough, baby? I thought the chains I bought you were heavier than that. Yeah, baby, they're good. But the Cuban bracelets was lighter though. Yeah, I thought they were all heavier. Like, you can't make this shit up. And this is exactly why I fucking love Young Thug as an artist, because he lives everything he fucking raps, man. He's really living that life. This is his life. She seems like a sweet girl though. I can't even lie.
Shit.
You know.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
I wish that you could be at home with me and you could put it on me. I miss you.
I miss you too. You look beautiful with this shit on. You look like a rapper now.
That's what you want me to look like? Rapper. If I had to have a rap name, what would you pick it to be? I like that you called me Tiger Lily last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daddy. Am I your baby?
Oh, hell no, bro. Okay. That's some fatherless activities right there for sure. Listen, man, at the end of the day, it is this is not fair. Like, let's be completely honest, dude. I know that it's legal. I know that technically these videos are public domain. I understand that you can call this stuff in and legally put it out. But guys, this is a fucking violation because we're seeing someone in some of their most intimate moments when they don't know they're being filmed. And to sit back and judge people, like, I'm not judging. Sure, I found it funny. But to sit back and judge people for speaking in a private, intimate phone call is not fair. And that's what Drake said here in this reaction that he put from it. We saw this post on Instagram. Let's see if we can find it. This man making a lot of news these days, so we got to look it up. Here we go. Drake slams release of Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist jail call. This has got to be some form of misconduct. So his quote said, "This has got to be some form of jail misconduct. You're going to drag this talented man, then not be able to control your employees using his personal business for their own gain. Somebody benefited from this video even existing, and that's shameful. Whole case is a wash. Just free the guy and let him come home and continue bringing light to Atlanta." Okay, well, I don't really agree here with this statement. First of all, Drake, Young Thug is locked up for good reason. As much as I love him as an artist, man, if the stuff they're alleging is true, if he is shooting at old women, young kids, using kids and shooting a girl in the arm, spinning the block and shooting at someone's mom, trying to kill people, blowing off automatic weapons in broad daylight, I don't necessarily see that as bringing light to Atlanta. The second thing is I do believe that these videos, I mean, let's take a look at this. Our jail call video or our jail calls public domain. So it said right here, there is no expectation of privacy during phone calls between inmates and arrestees and their family members and friends. This one says, while jail phone calls are not typically considered public record, there are certain circumstances in which law enforcement may obtain probably a warrant. So it looks like somebody in the jail probably did benefit from putting this out. So I can't even lie. That is some shady, slimy shit to put that video out. But look, man, all jokes aside, Mariah the Scientist seems like a nice girl. She's there for him. Man said, man, in the chat, man, rap shit is fucked. Rap is definitely fucked up, man. Rap is definitely the most fucked up genre of music. There's no other way to put it. Speaking of that, let's look at this I don't know if we should look at this now or not. I don't know if we should look at this now. Let's look at this. Maybe we'll look at it, yeah. So Nicki Minaj, we covered Nicki Minaj yesterday going crazy on Megan Thee Stallion. I guess Nicki's continuing, and here's part of the clip of the rant that she went on Instagram Live.
Fragment foot. Bullet fragment foot, bitch. Bullet fragment, bitch. She a bullet fragment, bitch. No. Now listen here, ho. Get up on your good foot. Bitch, I said get up on your good foot, not your bad foot. Fuck was that, a diss or piss? Said it was his, I said piss. My fans called it piss. Yo nigga, bitch, said all that shit about you, ho. Yo ex-nigga that just was around you all that. Y'all mad because y'all don't have somebody that loves you and stand 10 toes down behind you. So you bringing up 30-year-old teeth from when this man was a 15-year-old child.
So she's talking about the fact that Megan Thee Stallion brought up that Nicki's current husband was charged with, he's on the registry. Which I guess, apparently from when he was young.
You bringing up 30-year-old tea because no man has ever and will ever fucking love you. And lying on your dead mother, on your dead mama, on your dead,
come on, Nicki, come on, man. Why do you got to go there with the dead mom? Why do you got to go there? That's not cool, Nicki. Why you got to go there? I hate when people go there, dude. I know people have been using that a lot lately. That seems to be the new style, man. 2024 beef is no motherfucking joke, man. If you're gonna beef somebody in 2024, I feel like there's nothing that's off limits. People have become feral. There's nothing off the table.
I'ma lie on her dead mama, lie on you. I said lie on her. Hey, sexy red, she done lied. She lied and she cried and she lied and she cried. She said she lied and she cried and she lied and she cried. And then she lied and she cried and she lied and she cried. Cause she got blogs all up her stupid doofy self ass every press. I said no well, I don't give up. And then she tried to rap double time. Lied on your dead mama. 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 Mama, lied on your dead mama. Lied on your dead mama.
What the
But you will not disrespect Papa Bear, you dirty fucking ran through bird ass, bum ass bitch. Broke bitch. You broke bitch. Tell them the truth, bitch. Y'all want it, Roman?
You see someone coming in the room, like someone's probably coming in to stop her from going fucking crazy.
Dead mama, I don't know, dead mama. Right after the funeral, she on her dead. I said,
is Nicki okay, bro? Hang on a second. If Nicki's talking about anybody being mad, let's be real. Nicki sounds mad. Nicki sounds mad as fuck. Like, let's not sit here and act like she sounds unbothered by any means. She sounds super hyped up, man. She's worked up. And look, it's funny that Nicki Minaj seems to have a problem with every female rapper. Nicki Minaj is a person who, you know, she wants the space to herself. She wants the rap space to herself. She wants the female rap market to herself. And she doesn't seem to want to share. She quadrupled down. When the crack finally starts working, how can she tell someone has ran through? No, that's a big fact. Okay, man. Well, we'll probably read some of this. Hold on a second. I'm trying to see. I don't know if I'm getting like pranked right now or what the case is, but there's somebody who's saying that a guest is calling in or trying to get on the line right now. And again, like I said, if this is actually real, guys, like this is going to be like, I don't know if I'm even prepared like for an interview of this scale right now. Let me go ahead and try one more thing right quick. Let me try one more thing. You guys got to bear with me. Usually I wouldn't stop midstream. But I mean, like something like this is completely next level. Let's see if we get a ringtone. If we get a ringtone, it should be cool. I feel like I should play like some waiting room music or something, or let me put something else on. Somebody says she's on coke. This is all about Nicki, by the way. Nicki's on coke. No way. Hang on a second, bro. This can't be legit. We're getting a ring. Oh, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Can you see me?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got motherfucking Drake on the line right now. Yes, sir, I can see you. What's poppin', boy? Bro, I'm a huge fan, dog. My dog, how you feeling, bro?
I'm all right, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Now, hang on a second. Let me do a double check right quick. Yes, sir, I can hear you. You hear me okay?
Yeah, it's just cutting out a little bit. That's all.
It's cutting out a little bit. Okay, my bad. Now check this out. I got to do a check right quick. I got to make sure, like, the chat's telling me they're not sure if this is the real Drake type of deal. So let me ask you this question right here. It's a couple questions only Drake would know. Number one, what city are you born in, Drake? What's your hometown city?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, he's got the first one right. Hang on a second. The second question, real quick. There's only two questions. What is your son's name?
You talking about Adonis? Adonis?
Guys, last question. How do you feel about Metro booming?
Metro's a dub.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the real man here. Right here, I'm just playing, man. How you doing, dog? I'm just pulling your leg, bro. I appreciate you calling, man.
How you doing, man?
we got my man over here making big moves. He's doing his thing. I seen you in the Mabu video, man. I think that shit was cool, dude. Talk to me about the Mabu collab.
Yeah, I was contacted by a casting agency, and they wanted me to play a small role in the Mabu video, and I got to go to where they were shooting, and I met Mabu, I met Fabio. Overall, it was a great experience.
That's what's up. So you're actually doing a casting, like you're doing casting as the Drake lookalike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So when did this start for you, bro? When did you start with the lookalike stuff and decide that you could maybe make a run at it?
Well, people's been telling me I look like Drake for over 10 or 20 years, like over 10 years, like over 10, 11 years. But recently, last summer, I just went viral, and it's just been going off ever since then.
What was the one that you went viral for? Was it the finesse of the DJ? Because I seen they said you finessed.
No,
the DJ.
no, that wasn't actually me. That was another Drake lookalike. That dude's cool though, man. That was a good video he had there. The
No
one
shit.
I had, I was in a club singing a Drake song, and people were recording me.
Yeah, I seen that one. How many impersonators are there? There's like 10 of them.
It's just too many.
There's too many.
It's like every month a new one's popping out.
No shit. Are you based in Miami?
No, I'm in New York.
Okay, got you. So what type of demand? I mean, obviously in New York you see, I mean, everywhere there's people dressed up in Times Square. I mean, there's obviously a demand for this type of thing. So what sorts of opportunities have you been finding in NYC?
I've been hosting like at comedy clubs, doing little
Nice.
performances here and there, doing club promoting, and
That's
like
what's
the
up.
music video I recently did.
That's dope. So when you're doing something like with a guy like Mabu, how long are you on the set type of thing? Is it just a couple hours or is it a long time?
It's like it's a couple hours.
Okay, cool. And do you really get a chance to talk with the guys, or is it mostly just business?
No, we got a chance to speak to them. It was a chance to speak, but everything, everybody was moving, all the parts were moving in a way to get the shots done, and so we can just get up out of there.
What are your thoughts on Lil Mabu? I mean, obviously being from New York and the way that he's blowing up, and obviously 5 years as well, making mad moves, putting NYC on the map. I mean, obviously it already is, but making it even bigger.
I jack him, man. I've always been a fan of Fabio and Mabu, man. Mabu's cool, man. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, they're definitely going up.
Mm-hmm.
Would like a guy like Drake be your favorite rapper, or is it like, or do you listen to other shit and not even listen to him?
You
just
said
look
what?
like
Sorry,
him?
you're cutting off, brother.
That's cool. I mean, are you like a big Drake fan yourself, or do you listen to mostly other people?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Drake is my favorite artist.
He's your favorite artist? Okay, cool. So you must have liked it when
he's
people
my
said you
favorite
look like him.
Yeah, at first, what's funny? For a long time, at first, I used to kind of get annoyed by it when I was younger. When I was like high school, I used to get annoyed by it. But after a while, I'm just like, it's cool, whatever. Yeah.
My man's older.
But it's definitely cool being compared to your favorite artist. Yeah, that's something that's definitely cool.
Have you ever tried to meet him, or have you ever seen him in concert?
I've seen him in concert before. I've never tried to meet him, though. I've just seen him in the concert.
NYC, they definitely got a lot of shows, man. Yeah, the tours have been crazy. I feel like he should do a video maybe with all the impersonators, man.
Yeah, but man, there was one from a few years ago, man. His name was like Izzy. He ruined that shit, man. Drake started to not like him, and then they had some beef going on. So I guess Drake was like, "Yo, man, fuck all these impersonators."
Yeah, well, I guess he faked a cease and desist letter from OVO. Like he made a fake letter. Like that was a little crazy to me.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was cringe, man. That whole shit was cringe, bro.
He was calling him and shit. That's a classic. I mean,
yeah, that's cringe. Calling him when his album released. Talk about where we dropping, bro. He was doing weird shit. He was doing cringe shit, bro. Like you can't respect that, bro. He's weird for that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So in terms of like taking this and trying to market it for the time being, where do you see yourself taking this and trying to go with it in the next year?
I just want to get more roles acting. I want to be on TV shows, movies, and such.
That'd be dope.
No, it's cool. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you trying to get into your own career as well, or do you just want to do this?
I'm really trying to get into my own career, man. I want people to know who John is.
Okay, and you said you do stand up. How long you been doing stand up?
No, I just perform Drake songs at the stand up
Okay,
shows.
got you.
Yeah,
you never actually try to open mic.
No.
You should try it, man. Fuck it, NYC. You got a lot going there.
I know, but I don't really know if I'm a stand-up comedian kind of person.
Just sticking with the acting.
Yeah, sticking with the acting. My funny videos are people recording me doing stuff, and then they like, what's this guy doing? And then it blows up from there. That's the kind of comedy I'm into.
That's what's up, man. So where can people find you if they want to check you out and follow what you're doing?
You can check me out on Instagram, John Dower 25. That's JOHNDOUR25. My TikTok is the same thing, except it's John Dower 258. And yeah, it's mostly what I'm on, just Instagram and TikTok.
That's what's up, brother. I appreciate you taking the time to call in and being a good sport. We'll chop that up and hopefully we'll go viral together off that shit, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I got you, man. Man. Keep doing your thing, man. I like what you're doing, man. Keep doing your thing. It was nice speaking to you, bro.
Hey, man. Thank you so much, brother. Take care. Drizzy Drake. You guys know I had to fucking get you with that one, man. Come on now. That was funny. I didn't tell him I was going to do that either. I didn't tell him I didn't tell him I was going to pretend he was the real guy. Good sport. Shout out John. Yeah, he's funny, man. He's a funny guy. Okay. What else do we have here? We got Birdman. So Lil Wayne and Birdman back in the studio together. Let's take a look at this here. Of course, Lil Wayne and Birdman. Now, I know that they were estranged for quite a while. But we're going to try to figure out exactly why they're coming back together and also what exactly happened. So let's look at this article here from Hip Hop DX. Lil Wayne and Birdman reunite in the studio, like father, like son. The long-awaited reunion photo was posted to Lil Wayne's Instagram on Friday, January 25th. Although the pair appeared to be in the studio, the ex-Hot Boy didn't give too many details about what fans could expect from this reunion. Here's the photos here from Wheezy's Instagram story. Okay, cool. So Wayne and Birdman back together after so long. This is cool. This is cool to see. Yeah, I mean, look, Wayne and Birdman, definitely two of the most legendary figures in hip hop. There's no way around it. I feel like although they have their issues and their difficulties, they're always going to end up coming back and being cool again. Let's take a look at this video. So this is a video that's sort of going to explain a little bit of the Birdman situation. Explain why
Lil Wayne and Birdman,
they ended up actually feuding and how ugly it got. This video is by Hip Hop Daily. It says the $100 million beef that almost got Lil Wayne unalived. Let's take a look at this, man. And because again, I've always known that the main thing I knew is that they were holding back the release of Carter 5. That's the main thing that I always understood about this Wayne thing. But I didn't know all these details. So let's check it out.
Lil Wayne and Birdman linked up when Wayne was just 9 years old and used to call each other father and son.
9 years old is crazy. How do you even discover a 9-year-old?
But then they sparked a wild beef that almost got Wayne killed, and today we're breaking it all down. Wayne and Birdman took over the rap game together, and it all started before Wayne was even a teenager. He started rapping when he was 8. Then a year later, he met Birdman and was recording freestyles on his answering machine. Birdman had already started Cash Money Records, and in '97, Wayne, BG, Juvenile, and Turk formed a crew on the label called the Hot Boys. They dropped their first album when Wayne was 14 and sold over 300,000 copies. It was clear from the jump that Wayne and Birdman made a great team, and the Hot Boys selling so many records helped Cash Money get a $30 million deal with Universal Records the next year. Wayne and the Hot Boys kept up the momentum and hit #1 on Billboard charts with their second album. Everyone else ended up leaving Cash Money over financial issues, but Wayne held it down and helped turn it into one of the most successful labels of all time. His first solo album hit #3 on the Billboard 200 chart, and Source magazine nominated him for Best New Artist. But Wayne was just getting started. By the time he dropped the Carter 2 and sold over 200,000 in the first week, everyone knew he was taking over. That same year, Birdman named him president of Cash Money, and Wayne started his imprint label, Young Money. Birdman and Wayne were already on top of the industry, and in 2006, they dropped a collab tape called Like Father, Like Son. They completely ran the game together for the next decade. Wayne became one of the highest selling artists of all time.
Yeah, Wayne was born for this metaphor, yeah, 100%, man. It's insane to see where Wayne actually took it and how far he actually took it. And from such a young age, too. I mean, you know, we've had this debate on the show, you know, on the stream a lot of times about who could be the greatest rapper. I think Wayne, next to Eminem, to me personally, is the greatest rapper. I think they're the greatest rappers. You know, and then we get into Pac and Biggie and all this stuff, but they're among the greatest rappers. And I think Wayne is at least top 5. If Wayne isn't top 5 in every conversation for hip-hop, I feel like it's just not a valid conversation. That's just the way I see it.
And made history by taking the record from Elvis for most tracks on the Billboard Hot 100. Cash Money was massive, and Wayne's Young Money label was bringing in all kinds of cash after he signed Nicki Minaj and Drake. In 2011, he dropped the Carter 4 and sold almost 1 million records in the first week. Running up numbers like that should have kept everyone happy, but it didn't take long for the drama behind the scenes to start heating up. Fans were going crazy about the Carter 4 and couldn't wait for the sequel. In October 2013, the vice president of promotion for Cash Money Records said the Carter 5 was coming soon, and Drake teased it a few months later when he tweeted, "Carter 5. Drake and Wayne finally announced that the album was coming out in May, but then a month later, it was delayed for the first time. The new date was set for December 9th, but 5 days before it was supposed to come out, Wayne hopped on Twitter and dropped a bomb. Fans were expecting to be bumping Wayne's new album within a week, but that all changed when he tweeted, "To all my fans, I want you to know that my album won't and hasn't been released because Baby and Cash Money Records refused to release it."
Okay, so this was the inception of the fight, that they refused to release the Carter 5, and this started an all-out war. Now, we got to hand it to them, man. I mean, you know, Wayne started his career with Birdman at 9 years old, and they didn't have a major falling out until the year of 2014. So even though they did end up having this falling out, I mean, we got to accept the fact that they definitely had a good run. There's no question about it. But it also is not surprising to me that they came back because these guys are family. He's known them forever.
It's because Baby and Cash Money Records refused to release it. Then at a party for Vice's 20th anniversary, Wayne took the stage and told everyone,
"I'm fucked up in a bad situation, but I will be out of it soon, and I do it for y'all."
While everyone wanted the Carter 5, Wayne dropped a mixtape called Sorry for the Wait 2, and on the track Shit, he took a shot at Birdman and said, "Did my time at Cash Money, time served and released. But this agent ain't free. Word, that's word on the streets." Then his manager, Cortez Bryant, hopped on IG and said that Wayne had been carrying Cash Money on his back for 10 years and deserved better. Nobody knew what was really going on, but it was clear the situation was about to pop off. Then what happened next shocked everyone.
That's facts, by the way. Like, when's the last hit Birdman had on fucking Cash Money? The only artist that because Drake isn't on Cash Money anymore, Nicki, I believe, is. So that's the only artist that would really be carrying Cash Money records, right? I mean, come on. Wayne definitely carried Cash Money.
Going on, but it was clear the situation was about to pop off. Then what happened next shocked everyone. 2 weeks later, news broke that Wayne filed a $51 million lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money. The lawsuit claimed that Birdman violated their deal by holding on to the Carter 5, and Wayne wanted to be released from the contract and take everyone signing Young Money with him. Wayne wasn't just trying to get a wild amount of cash from Birdman, he was trying to take the top earners with him too. But Birdman wasn't just gonna let him walk away without a fight, so Wayne took shots at him every chance he got. On the Young Money cypher, he said, "I thank you for my hitman, and tell Pac I'm a big fan. I sang Dear Mama to my dear mama, and sang Hit Him Up to my daddy's bitch ass. I thank you for my hitman, about to go kidnap the big man." It was clear that Wayne wanted smoke, and he yelled "fuck Cash Money" at a show in Florida not long after the diss.
He also said stunner numbers blocked on his Magnolia freestyle. Stepping to the top, stunner number blocked.
Cash Money at a show in Florida not long after the diss.
Fuck Cash Money.
Then 3 weeks later, Lil Wayne was allegedly almost taken out over the lawsuit and beef. And rumors say the dude who allegedly ordered the hit was Young Thug. At the same time, Wayne was airing out.
What? I didn't know this. So Wayne survived an attempt at his life. I did not know this. I did know there was big beef between Lil Wayne and Young Thug, though. The story goes that I think Thug grew up idolizing Wayne, and when he finally met Wayne, Wayne refused to even shake his hand or anything, refused to touch him, refused to show him any love. And then it created like a villain. He like created a Frankenstein almost. So then, you know, it kind of makes sense. But again, this is all alleged. The thing is, with the stuff we know about Young Thug now, though, it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, Young Thug allegedly is one of the biggest criminals hip hop has ever seen. So it would not surprise me.
Then 3 weeks later, Lil Wayne was allegedly almost taken out over the lawsuit and beef. And rumors say the dude who allegedly ordered the hit was Young Thug. At the same time Wayne was airing out Birdman, there was tension between him and Thug too. It all started after Thug announced his new album was going to be called Carter 6. The album cover came out that showed Thug naked, and that's when Wayne sent the first diss.
And we have to remember this too. Who's on the first song of this album? Birdman. The first song of this album is Young Thug and Birdman.
Thug naked, and that's when Wayne sent the first diss. During the club set, Wayne told his fans,
I want y'all to do me a favor and stop listening to songs of niggas that post naked on their motherfucking album.
Wayne obviously wasn't rocking with Thug trying to use the Carter name.
No.
Thug hopped on IG the next day and told everyone,
but this is my idol. I wouldn't ever in my life swap words with him or beef with him about nothing. This is a person that I look up to.
But after he showed love to Wayne and said he looked up to him, Thug switched up in a crazy way. Thug posted a video on IG.
Yeah, YSL. Carter 6 coming out Friday, first show, New Orleans, Holly Grove.
That wasn't even the wildest part though. At the end of the video, he sent a weird threat to Wayne and said,
fuck nigga, meet me there, better yet, beat me there, you did. With them dicks too, nigga. Yeah.
Out of nowhere, the situation went from some rap drama to Thug sending death threats. Fans didn't know why it turned up so fast, and nobody expected what happened next. Thug changed his album title to Barter 6 to avoid a lawsuit, and on the track Can't Tell, he sent a subliminal at Wayne with the line, "Pussy boy, I'll leave you dead," and call it dedication. He didn't call him out by name, but everyone connected the bar.
Oh yeah, definitely about Wayne.
To Wayne's dedication projects. Wayne responded at a show a few days after the album dropped and said, "If there were any other albums that dropped recently, tell him I said, suck my dick. Carter 5 coming soon. Ain't no motherfucking such thing as Carter 6. Everyone knew that Thug and Wayne weren't cool, but they had no idea how serious it was about to get. On April 26, 2015, Wayne had a show in Thug's hometown of Atlanta. Everything was fine during the set, but when his crew left the club that night, someone tried to take him out. Wayne's 2 tour buses pulled out of the spot and hit the road.
Bro, how many times does Wayne survive being shot at, dude? This is crazy. Thank fucking God he survived. Like, most of these guys don't get this lucky.
But when his crew left the club that night, someone tried to take him out. Wayne's 2 tour buses pulled out of the spot and hit the road. At first, they had a police escort to protect him, but when they got on the interstate, the cops left, and that's when someone rode up on them and started letting off shots. Luckily, nobody got hit during the shooting, but rumors started flying that it was over the beef with Young Thug. The cops eventually booked Thug's road manager, Jimmy Winfrey, for what went down. After the show, he allegedly walked up to Wayne and told him, "This is my city. Keep fucking around, I'll spray the bus." Reports say that Thug called Winfrey 8 times in 12 minutes right before the bus shooting. Thug allegedly trying to take out Wayne was crazy, but then some news broke that shocked the entire game. It turns out that Thug wasn't the only dude who talked to Winfrey that night. In 2018, a phone call leaked that makes it look like Birdman might have been the one who ordered the hit. During a call with Winfrey, Birdman said,
"You come out here and get this money, nephew. Your money, you done blessed. You done did everything you could do, bro. It's an eye opener, bro. You know what I'm saying? While you're on that strictly business, man."
Winfrey was convicted and got hit with a 10-year sentence, but he ended up appealing it and taking an Alford plea to get the charges dropped. Thug and Birdman were never charged over the hit, but that might change very soon. Back in March, news broke that Young Thug's legal team is trying to exclude the video where he threatened Wayne from his RICO trial. There's also been an informant working with the cops for years, and his info might get Birdman and Thug hit with new charges over the shooting. There's no telling what kind of info about the shooting will come out during the trial. Birdman and Lil Wayne are both listed as potential witnesses for the prosecution in Thug's case, so the whole situation could break wide open and fans might finally know the truth about what went down that night and who put the hit out on Wayne. Back in 2015, Winfrey accused Birdman of being involved, but nothing's been proven yet. Wayne was getting taken out was the biggest headline of the beef, but the rest of 2015 was just as wild. Wayne still had his deal with Birdman, but he signed a streaming deal with Tidal that summer. He dropped an album called Free Weezy, and on the track He's Dead, Wayne rapped, "Rest in peace to the Cash Money Weezy, gone but not forgotten." Around a week later, Birdman allegedly threw a drink on Wayne during his set at Club Live in Miami. And just 3 days later, he dropped a $50 million lawsuit against Jay-Z and Tidal for streaming Free Weezy exclusively. Wayne and Birdman ended up squashing the beef for a little while in 2016. But then Wayne filed a new $40 million lawsuit against Universal and sparked a lot of new tension. He dropped a couple more disses against Cash Money like, "I just popped 5 Percocets and only caught a buzz." And if that label tried to stop me, there are gonna be some crazy Wheezy fans waiting in the lobby. They went back and forth for 2 more years, and at one point, it seemed like the beef and lawsuits would never stop. But then in June 2018, they finally settled everything, and Wayne allegedly made it out of the situation with an extra 10 mil in his pockets. Fans got the Carter 5 a few months later, but that wasn't the end of the story. Everything's been chill between Young Thug, Lil Wayne, and Birdman. But that's probably all about to change. There's no telling what kind of wild info will break about the night Wayne's tour bus got shot up. So tap in for updates when the news breaks.
Man, oh man. Okay, so this was a really well done video explaining, you know, what the situation is with Wayne and Birdman. I mean, this shit's no joke, dude. This shit is really no joke. This is, you know, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes of these artists, man. People think it's just about making music. You drop the music.
Wayne and Birdman might as well.
You drop the music, you get the money. It's fun. You're rich. You're popping champagne. This is not how it is. These people. I think more money, more problems is the best way to put it. I think that's probably the most realistic thing we've ever been told about the business. More money, more problems. These people are living a life of fucking misery half the time. We got some clips from 21 Savage. He just did a new interview on the Club Shay Shay podcast, of course, with Shannon Sharp. Let's see what we got, man. We got him talking about Snoop Dogg. Let's look at 21 talking about Snoop. "21 on a big run with his new record too. I think premiering at #1 on the Billboard, so definitely big album, linking up on a big podcast.
Take on streaming. I hear Snoop Dogg say, "Man, look here, man. Them streaming, you stream $1 billion, and man, you ain't really making no money." What's your thoughts on streaming?
I think it all depends on how your deal structured, because it's some money in streaming.
Much money in streaming?
It's just about like how your deal structured and how much you stream, type shit.
Well, it seemed to me
there gotta be some money in it, because my label be giving me some money.
Okay, I was about to say, because the way you talking like you got a structured deal that you be getting.
They gotta be making money, because they giving me money.
Right.
So,
well, I'm sure 21 has a good deal. For anybody who doesn't know, we've mentioned this on the stream before, but 21 actually teaches financial literacy in schools in his own program. So he knows about good deals.
It's some money in that shit, some real money in it.
Let me ask you about your catalog. Future sold his catalog. I think he sold it 65, 75 million. Is that something you'd be interested in at some point?
Yeah, I'll probably lay down the line for sure. Yeah. I only got a couple albums right now though.
Right.
But
you gonna stop it on up, get it?
It depends how much my hustle, how I apply my hustle.
Right.
Cause shit, I might fuck around and invest in something and become a billionaire and be able to pass my catalog down to my kids. Might not even have to sell my catalog.
Right. I'm looking at the XL freshman class: Lil Uzi Vert, Yachty, Kodak, Denzel, Curry, Jill Herbo, David East, Lil Dicky, Anderson .Paak, Designer, and you. Boy, y'all hit a lick that year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, y'all hit a lick.
Yeah, for sure. There was some stars on that cover.
Do you ever sit back and like, man, considering what your story of how coming to Atlanta from London, or the East Side, your upbringing, there's a lot of things that could have happened that this didn't happen. Do you ever sit back and like, damn, man, this shit, Savage, all right.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But I be like, I still got to keep going though.
You still trying to grind?
Yeah, but I do be like appreciative though. I do sit back and just daydream sometimes, like, damn, this shit could have went this way or this way, type shit.
Right. Sure. Your new project, American Dream, is projected to have your #1 album. First album in 6 years. How much have you grown since your first album?
I think my sound just changed, like my beat selection, like just talking about deeper things and just like, I feel like I'm just growing up. Like I'm a grown up now.
Right.
Type shit. I was like a young nigga when I first came out. I was just saying anything type shit.
Right. Samples on the album. How difficult
now,
was
when he
it?
was talking about when he was talking about the Snoop Dogg situation, by the way, you know, the reason he was comparing it to Snoop is because we got to look at this story here. So this was last month. Snoop Dogg reported that he got 1 billion streams across all of his streaming services, and the check that he personally received for 1 billion streams, 1 billion, was less than $45,000. Interesting. Now, I wouldn't imagine Snoop Dogg is the type of guy to sign a bad deal. But that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if Snoop Dogg also wasn't as meticulous and paid as much attention to detail as others in his contracts, because he doesn't exactly need every penny like that. I'm sure there could probably be, I mean, at this point, I'm sure Snoop, you know, don't get me wrong, Snoop wants to get paid. I'm sure Snoop wants to get paid very, very well. But, I mean, it's not like he needs every penny like he did before he had money. I remember when Nipsey partnered with Atlantic, he didn't sign. No, I don't remember that. But that's a good move. I mean, you can do management deals as well. You know, like I think Griselda, I think Benny the Butcher did like a management deal with Shady Records, or a couple of those guys did management deals instead of record deals so they could retain more money. That's true. Okay, let's go to this one. This one is 21's top 5 Atlanta rappers.
Got a tough one for you right now. Give me your top 5 Atlanta rappers.
Without me.
Without you.
I'm going to go Future.
Okay.
T.I.
Okay.
Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
Outkast. And Young Thug.
Ooh. Do we have the same list? Hang on a second. My favorite Atlanta rappers? Yeah, I would have the same list. I'm not even going to lie.
Okay. I'm sorry, Luda, Jeezy. Y'all made my top 5, but that's...
Damn.
Migos, Thug, yada yada.
Migos? Give me a fucking break. No disrespect, but come on.
Oh, yeah.
Migos over Gucci, Migos over Young Thug, Migos over Future is insane. Absolutely. They would probably tell you that, dude. Come on.
Baby, I'm sorry.
See, you can't do no Atlanta top 5.
You can.
You got to do Atlanta top 20.
No.
We got too many greats.
Nah, because I ain't finna let you put everybody up in there. So when they see that, like, hey.
I like my 5. Them niggas ain't gonna put me in they top 5 anyway. So shit, I don't give a fuck.
They might.
Hell no. They gonna say current or all time.
I don't know if JID is from Atlanta, Meta. If he is, then yeah, for sure.
So what type of influence did Gucci have on you? You say you saw Gucci at Miss Wiener's very, very early on.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, growing up on the east side, bro, Gucci made me hate Young Jeezy as a child.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Because the beef they had good, they had.
Yeah, like, I used to really be like, man, fuck Jeezy.
Right.
I'm from the east side, nigga. Gucci type shit. On God, Gucci had a big impact. Like,
right.
Gucci was the one, like, and he was like, he put that shit on the map, like, let it be known, like,
right.
The east side type shit.
Are you big into gifts? Do you buy other? I saw Drake bought Thug a Ferrari. Are you big into buying other artists' gifts that jump on your album and it blow it up?
Yeah, we be buying. I done bought Drake some shit. He done bought me some shit. I done bought Thug shit. He bought me shit. Like people that I fuck with,
right?
In Metro,
right.
I just don't do shit for the internet,
right?
So like,
you do stuff and don't nobody know about it.
Yeah, but a nigga might have a chain on that I bought him.
Right.
But you would never know.
Right.
Cause I ain't finna like be like,
right.
bro.
Yeah, he's not making a photo op, dude. And that's what most of these rappers do. Not even just rappers, man. That's what everybody does in today's day and age. Every time somebody's giving, they're doing it to receive attention. They're setting it up like a photo op. It's the equivalent of when a politician goes to help shovel at a construction site or help, put on a hard hat for a photo op to take pictures. It's so cringeworthy, and we've become so accustomed to it. So I respect that about 21. He seems to, he's not a fucking internet-brained person where he's going to set up fake shit to try to look good.
Type shit.
Were you old enough to remember Freak Nick?
Yeah.
Freak Nick was like that, wasn't he?
I don't
We had
remember
one more
being
clip
there.
here, I think, from the Shannon Sharp podcast. Let's go. You got Yo Gotti. Let's look at this one
Got a
here.
tough one. You know what they hate on? Your relationship with Drake. Why people got beef with Drake? What Drake do to anybody?
I don't know.
So, cause you know you gonna get blowback. If you cool with Drake, they hate on him, they gonna hate on you too.
Yeah, I don't know. I fuck with Drake though. Drake, my boy.
Yeah, you sure? I mean, what's not to like about the man? I mean, hell, everything he touched turned to platinum. Damn, gold platinum.
Oh God. Oh God.
21's like, yeah, I know. I mean, dude, think about the status that 21 has had after the Her Loss collab record. I mean, that record put 21 into a completely different stratosphere of an artist. 21 Savage is an A-list artist now. Not that he wasn't massive before, but now it's different. With the tour that they just did especially, that's the effect, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think people are envious of your relationship? Because obviously it's not like I wouldn't say that he doesn't mess with a whole lot of people, but he seems to have you and he seem to have a very special relationship. And sometimes people get envious of that. They want what you have.
What you feel like a man is if he jealous of how cool two other men are? What you think? What you think that is? What you would look at like that? Like if somebody said
facts.
I don't like how Stephen A. fuck with Shannon Sharp. Like how that'll make you feel. What you
It's
look
fucking pathetic is what it is. I completely agree.
Get that like.
That's some hating ass, you know what?
Right.
Because it is, but what you have to understand, and I'm learning this, Savage, is that as you rise, the applause is gonna come, but so is the hate and the criticism. So if you're not willing to accept the applause and the adulation that comes along with the rise, you might as well get off because the hate and the criticism coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a part of it. And you just have to accept that. And that can't, the hate and the criticism, it can't drown out the applause and the adulation.
Right. What adulation mean?
Applause, the praise, the Grammys, man, Savage, you hear Savage album? Man, F Savage, man, I don't F with that dude like that, man. He ain't like that.
Yeah.
You know that's coming.
Yeah.
But see, everybody, see, as long as you like here and everybody's here with you, we cool, Savage. But now, hold on now. Don't you go here. Because if I can't go here with you, I'm going to start hating on you.
Yeah.
Now, if you get here, now I got to say some stuff that might not even be true.
Right.
Because I don't want people to like you more than they like me.
I ain't never been like that though.
I know you not, but there are a lot of people that are.
Yeah. I wonder why though. Like what make you be like that? Like I always look at it like shit. That's just like me hating on Drake.
Yeah. I'm trying to get there.
Right. I look at it like inspiration, like shit, I'm working.
That's how I look at it. I look at it, anybody that's done something, well, it's been done once, hell, it can be done again.
Right.
And that's the difference, my friends, between the winner's mentality and the loser's mentality. Notice that the two people with the positive mindset are the two people sitting in these chairs, the two people who are winners, the two people who are successful. I've always been the same way. I've always thought that seeing somebody do incredible things is incredibly inspiring. I've never felt like if somebody is really successful or they're doing really well, even in a field that I'm in that is taking away from me. There's been moments for sure where, I wish I could be where X person is, whether they're a podcaster or a streamer. I think that's natural human nature. but it's not as I've never got behind the mindset that that person being there takes away from my chance to be there. It doesn't really matter what field you're in, just because there's other successful folks, just because LeBron James exists, that doesn't mean that, he's taking a spot that you would have otherwise had. There can be room for another player. So that to me is the difference between a winner's mentality and a loser's mentality.
So if Drake there, hell, why can't I get there?
Right.
See, that's how I looked at it when I saw Stephen A. and I see guys that Charles Barkley and things like that. I was like, I'm not hating on them. I was like, I can do that. Let me get on my grind.
Yeah.
But that's not how we are. We're not wired like that.
Right.
And it's sad. The touring aspect. What do you like most about touring and touring with Drake?
The money.
Lots of it come with Drake, huh?
That shit just come, period.
Right.
You reach a certain level. Cause shit, Drake ain't finna pay you nothing that you ain't worth.
Right.
You ain't like he just paying you cause you his friend.
Hell nah.
They paying you your fee.
Man, it made me get thinking I should have started rapping instead of playing football.
Well. Might as well.
Man, I got you. What the hell? What a 55-year-old gonna rap about?
Shit, rap about goddamn everything. Everything you going through. It's some 55-year-olds that goddamn can relate. It's a lot. Google how many 55-year-old men it is in the world.
That's a bunch of them.
All right, then.
Nah, you ain't finna get me out there, help me out there.
Jump
looking
out there,
crazy.
make a song, get some screaming money, and then tell me if screaming pay or not.
What's it like touring outside the country?
It's different. Cause they love hard.
They might not even speak English, but they can sing every word that you be singing.
Yeah, that shit crazy. I ain't never got love like that before.
Really?
Well, I have, but I think it's just different because they don't see you as often, so they appreciate you more.
Right.
Alex in the chat is wanting to ask if you're aware people are demanding Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar be removed from the upcoming WWE game being released in March. I was not aware of that, Alex. Let's go back to Vince McMahon. For anybody just joining, we started the stream almost 2 hours ago now, speaking on this. So I'm sure it had just broken when I started, so I'm sure there's plenty of things that have come up since. Let's see what's going on with this game. Let's see. I think it says... I don't know if there's any formal articles or if this is just something that's maybe on Reddit. Let's take a look at Reddit. But people were already asking yesterday if they thought that he was going to be a part of it. Yeah, people are asking here. Yeah, I'm going to... I need some help on what to Google, goddammit. But yeah, I think basically, guys, they're going to push for him to be out of it, sure. Again, this is no small situation where it's going to easily be forgiven. This is a situation that is going to drastically change this company for the foreseeable future. And, maybe they even have to change names at a certain point because, again, we got to remember this is only in the last couple hours that this has come out in terms of news. But once this really comes out, if this does go to trial, the amount of things that could possibly come out, the details, this is just the tip of the iceberg potentially for Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. I want to look at a couple more things. There was this one thing saying he was using different color sex toys or some shit. Yeah, Vince McMahon, they claim that he had extreme depravity. Unbelievable. Alex in the chat says, also on the WWE 2K official and unofficial discords and community, people are either canceling their pre-orders or demanding refunds in support of Janelle Grant. Wow. Well, I'm not surprised, guys. This is a pretty bad situation. Let's see if there's anything else we can find maybe on YouTube about this too. Like, I'm down to keep searching for some more information. Let's just take a look and see what people are saying so far.
Are you sweating? Didn't you use Allspice dry spray?
This one says Ryder Beck was right about Vince McMahon.
Yo, I'm the big guy Ryback. And I've been telling you guys the truth for almost 8 years on this piece of shit. Do I have your attention now? The truth always wins, even if it takes time. But the truth, and the whole truth, will always come out eventually and always prevail victorious. This man, if you even want to call him that, man, child, little boy, scared little boy, and an old man's body, is obsessed with power and control and tormenting other human beings, good human beings. The first time I ever looked in that little boy's eyes, I saw pure evil.
Little boy's eyes.
And I knew I wanted nothing to do with him and his piece of shit company at that time. This piece of shit has had all my social media suppressed and did everything in his power to try to ruin my life and to try to turn good people against me over the years with all the lies and fake accusations and negative articles on me, but mainly suppressing me and my brand to try to hurt the perception of me to the people out there. The truth always wins. I've got my health back. I'm coming back bigger and better than ever. He's gonna be done. The truth will ruin this man, and the whole truth hasn't even come out yet.
Is this guy a wrestler? This
much
guy
work.
sounds like a wrestler. Yeah, I think he is, isn't he? Okay. American professional wrestler. He was in the WWE. Wow, so there's actually been wrestlers in the WWE who've been making these allegations, he says, for 8 years? That's insane. That's insane. So I guess we got a tip here. Shout out to Alex in the chat with some great leads here for this story. So Law and Crime, Janelle Grant. Let's listen to this. So this is an interview with the lawyer for the woman who was doing the lawsuit, Janelle Grant. This is interesting stuff. Damn, I'm on the wrong browser. My bad. I'm on the wrong browser, so I'm getting ads. But we'll switch back over after this one.
WWE founder Vince McMahon accused of rape and sex trafficking in a new lawsuit filed by a former employee who says she endured psychological torture and physical abuse. We have 5 shocking claims from the suit, and the accuser's lawyer is here. I'm Anjanette Levy. It's Friday, and this is Crime Fix. WWE, its founder Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis are facing a civil suit from a woman named Janelle Grant. The suit includes graphic descriptions of sex, including threesomes and text messages Grant claims McMahon sent to her. Grant's suit claims she was down on her luck after her family died and needed a job, and someone in her apartment building reached out to McMahon asking him to help her. They met in March of 2019, according to the lawsuit. She says McMahon spoke to her about a job, greeted her in his underwear, touched and hugged her.
Okay. That would be where you turn around, though. You go to meet somebody for a job and they greet you in your underwear, you fucking leave. At least what I would do.
And talked about his personal life. She claims McMahon pushed for a romantic relationship in exchange for a job at WWE, and she obliged. Grant claims McMahon made her have sex with him, John Laurinaitis, and others, and sometimes this actually happened during work hours. Ann Callis represents Janelle Grant, and she's here with me to discuss this lawsuit. Ann, thanks for joining us. I want to talk about some of the allegations and the claims in this lawsuit, which are frankly pretty disgusting and pretty disturbing. First off, this claim that there was a threesome between your client, Janelle Grant, and Vince McMahon in May of 2020. And she's saying that Vince McMahon defecated on her, would not allow her to clean off.
What? Bro, this whole company is going down. Is this for real?
She's saying that Vince McMahon defecated on her, would not allow her to clean off. It's very descriptive, and that he insisted that she continue to, have sexual relations with the third person in this threesome, and that this was humiliating. So these are some really graphic, kind of disturbing claims. Talk to me a little bit about that and why your client continued to engage in all of this.
Well, there is a thing called trauma bonding that people that haven't studied it, and I have just read articles about it. I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist, but an attorney. But she literally felt caged and imprisoned by Vince McMahon. And the escalation of the degrading things that happened to her, it's important for it to come out. These are facts, and these are allegations that we hope to prove to be true, and they are true. So
unreal. Guys, this is beyond what we could have even thought. Hate to be a Vince defender. Well, Skills, it's not being a Vince defender by say it ain't so. Oh, you're saying she could have walked away? Well, why I'm scratching my head is why she didn't walk away in the beginning. I do understand that trauma bonding and Stockholm syndrome and all these things are very real sort of syndromes and mental sort of phenomena that happen. Like, this is very real and it does happen. But my question is, if I'm a woman and I'm going to meet a man for a job opportunity, first off, even meeting him at a house is, that's sketchy to me. If I'm going for a job opportunity, I expect it to be at an office. Second thing, if this man opens the door in his underwear and I'm a woman, I'm not going in. That's the first thing with me. I wouldn't go in. I'd say, I'll come back when you're in this is inappropriate. I'll come back. And people say, well, there's such a big name, they'll make it so you never work again. Okay, do it. I've heard enough fucking stories. If I was a woman and I'm walking into a Hollywood situation and there's a guy in his underwear opening the door for me, I would leave. And I encourage everybody to do the same thing.
What does Janelle Grant hope to accomplish?
Common fucking sense. I would figure it would be common sense.
So what does Janelle Grant hope to accomplish with this lawsuit? She had signed the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, was supposed to be paid about $2 million over the course of a couple of years. So what does she want out of this suit specifically?
She wants her life back. She wants ownership of her story. She wants to help other victims. This is relatively close in time, 2019 when this unfolded, 2020. And her hope is to help other victims, if there are other victims, to come forward, because she had the courage and the presence of mind to finally get this done and come forward.
What is she up to right now? Obviously she's not working for WWE and Vince McMahon anymore. That employment ended. So has she been able to find other gainful employment? I mean, what is she doing right now?
Well, what happened to her and what we allege left her physically and mentally absolutely destroyed. So she is trying to recover, and she believes this is the first step. Filing this lawsuit took such tremendous courage from her. she was in an extremely vulnerable position when she first encountered Vince McMahon. Her parents had passed. She was the primary caregiver for her parents.
This reeks of like classic grooming, predatory sort of behavior. Like, it's always a victim who is isolated. It's always a victim who is down on their luck or in a bad situation. You know, when it's the independent, model who has an apartment in Manhattan and that's $5,000 a month and she clears over $100,000 a year, you know, it's a little more questionable in that situation. When it's somebody who's down on their luck, they're isolated, they're alone, they're maybe scared, they need money, it lends a little bit more credibility to the victim's story, at least in my opinion.
So already, besides being...
now, obviously, it can happen to anyone, don't get me wrong, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say.
Caregiver for her parents. So already, besides being an inordinately uneven playing field between Vince McMahon and Janelle, our client, she still tried to conduct herself, tried to be the best possible employee for the WWE that she could be under the most devastating and sexually depraved circumstances.
One of the other claims that she makes that's pretty disturbing, I mean, it's all pretty disturbing if you ask me, is that in 2021, she claims that Vince McMahon and this John Laurinaitis, sorry if I butchered that name, cornered her in a conference room and they both had sex with her. And they're saying things like no means yes and take it B word.
Yeah.
And that she's claiming other people in the office knew about this. So I'm kind of stunned by that. I mean, was this like an office? Was this like just a known thing? I mean,
he said this in the chat. This is my Vietnam. I was such a Vince fan. Yeah, man, it's really sad. Like I say, I was saying earlier in the stream, like I was gonna say UFC. Now I'm gonna be banned from fucking YouTube for mixing those two up. All the WWE fans are gonna hate me now. I was making progress. The WWE is a family thing. Like, it is family oriented in a lot of ways. It's geared towards kids. It's geared towards, parents and their kids and family and bonding, in its own unique way. And it is very sad. It's very, very, I mean, more so for the victims, but that's also a sad element of it.
Stunned by that. I mean, was this like an office? Was this like just a known thing? I mean, was everybody just like, yeah, that's kind of what goes on around here? I mean, what's going on with all of this stuff? This is really, really disturbing.
It is disturbing. What happened to her is disturbing. And I believe it was in Laurinaitis' office that they locked. I believe that. But yes, she was sexually assaulted, we are claiming, in the WWE headquarters, under the nose of the executives and the employees.
So it's just an open secret in the office, or how is this working? Because
I think
it's horrifying to me to think about this.
It is horrifying. It is horrifying. But Janelle was in just an atmosphere of fear. I think
she's not answering the question. The woman is trying to find out, was this something that everybody knew about or not? Was this something that was hidden? Like, why am I understanding the question? I'm sure you guys are getting it. And this woman, obviously she's a lawyer, so she's going to bullshit. But she's acting like she doesn't understand the question. Was it an open situation where people knew about it or not? That is the question. This is really fucking bothering me that she can't answer.
Well, I think
it's horrifying to me to think about this.
It is horrifying. It is horrifying. But Janelle was in just an atmosphere of fear. I think perhaps some of the employees or many of the employees were in an atmosphere of fear. And that permeated her being. And I think it permeated the office. The entire.
Meaning what? That's not the question.
Our headquarters.
So does she believe, and do you believe, that she was not the only one, that this was going on potentially with other women who worked in this company?
Whether they worked in the company or not, yes, the belief is that there are other victims out there. Just the way that the grooming of Janelle went on, it just indicates that there are a lot of indicators that there may be and probably are other victims out there. And one of Janelle's hopes is that by coming forward, she will give the courage of other victims to come forward too.
Does she potentially know of other employees personally, maybe people she had interacted with while she was there who can support her claims or who have had similar experiences?
Well, I bet that's later for trial when we gather all our witnesses. But personally, she does not. But there can be empirical circumstances that she may have encountered that could have indicated that there were other victims. But
yeah, and I understand that she has to answer it in a certain way to not like blow a potential trial. Like, I understand that. So I'm sure she's doing her best to answer, accordingly.
Personally, one-on-one, she doesn't have direct knowledge.
Okay. There was also mention, or you show them, I should say, in the suit, there are these text messages where he's messaging her. This is purportedly Vince McMahon saying, hey, this guy wants to do this. And I'm not going to get into the verbiage. It's not how I talk. It might be how other people talk. But people wanting to have their way with her sexually. She's claiming, that basically he was trafficking her to other people, like kind of loaning her out, if you will. I don't even know if that's the proper term, but that's kind of what it sounds like. And she was like, yeah, next week, or let me rest up, stuff like that. So you have the text messages. Is there other evidence you have to support these claims? Because that's a pretty vivid thing.
Well, we have her firsthand testimony and gathering all the evidence. Are there other text messages out there? Are there? Yes, I think this was just the complaint. But now we are building the pool of evidence that we will present to a jury.
Now, she's saying too, or you say in the lawsuit, and she claims that Vince McMahon told her in January of 2022 that his wife, Linda McMahon, who's a very well-known personality in her own right, found out about this relationship. So it was going to have to end. She was told she had to sign an NDA. She would no longer...
I wonder where Linda is in this now.
...longer be working for WWE. You attach the NDA as an exhibit to this lawsuit, and she agreed to not say anything in exchange for being paid $2 million. So what happens with that NDA now?
Well, it was attached to our complaint, so we're trying to invalidate it pursuant to the law.
WWE just signed a big deal with Netflix. Wrestling, of course, is big, big business. Vince McMahon actually stepped down as CEO of WWE back in 2022 after similar allegations were made against him. A spokesperson for McMahon released a statement saying that Janelle Grant's lawsuit is, quote, replete with lies, and he's vowing to defend himself. At the time of this recording, we hadn't heard back on our request for a comment from John Laurinaitis. So, it's the whole thing is really, really creepy. We did get a statement from them, from WWE, and it says, Mr. McMahon does not control TKO, nor does he oversee the day-to-day operations of WWE. Well, that just happened really in the last year and a half or so. While this matter predates our TKO executive team's tenure at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. Have they reached out to you at all? I mean, they're at least acknowledging this, and okay.
No.
What is your response to their statement?
Well, I believe that we were, at least Janelle was fine with the fact that they did acknowledge that what happened to her was horrific.
You talked a lot in the beginning of our conversation, or you mentioned grooming. And so there's a mention in the lawsuit as well, and it's a pretty lengthy lawsuit, that she was given gifts. I mean, she was kind of showered with gifts, cashmere sweaters and spa day.
So let's look at this. This is from the actual lawsuit. I guess a list of gifts that were given to the complainant. So $20,000 towards surgery paid directly to a surgeon's office. Pearl diamond pave lariat necklace from Betteridge in Greenwich, Connecticut. Blue cashmere knee-length cardigan from Nordstrom. A blue Burberry check cashmere scarf from Nordstrom. Blue cashmere and fur hat from Nordstrom. Gray cashmere shawl from Nordstrom. Celine glasses from Nordstrom. My man buying out Nordstrom. Cable knit throw blanket. And large bouquets of flowers delivered approximately every other week. So this is just a little tiny taste of the grooming tactics allegedly used by Vince McMahon. We also heard about the $20,000 or $15,000 of gift cards that were provided as well, on top of the $20,000 for surgery. It better be a nice store, Mr. Skills. It better be a nice store.
And things like that.
For that price.
Looking back on all of this, does she feel like she was, I don't know, she obviously feels, it said psychological torture and abuse. I mean,
that part doesn't sound like torture, but I can understand the rest was.
Does she feel like she was just targeted and preyed upon because of her situation? She couldn't find work. She meets this guy who's very powerful, and
yes,
things unfold from
was,
there.
Right. She was targeted and preyed upon, and she, as I mentioned before, she was in a very vulnerable position, and Vince McMahon took advantage of that, and then took it a million steps further in the sexual torture, the degradation, the push-pull of trauma bonding, all occurred to her. And she's still, to this day, trying to process what happened to her. She literally could not get out of bed. She had any personal grooming. She's not really eating. It's really taken a toll. Besides the physical injuries she'd suffered, it's going to be a long process. But hopefully, yesterday, by filing the suit, is her first step in the healing process.
And you told me that there's something that Janelle wanted you to read on her behalf. She has a statement. Could you tell us what it says?
That she hopes any doors of secrecy have been blown off their hinges and that fresh air fills the headquarters. And she hopes those at the company, past and present, who fear speaking out about harm is a thing of the past. She wishes everyone peace.
And Callis, attorney for Janelle Grant.
There you go, man. Definitely a super sad and shocking situation all around. Look, the only thing I can really say to wrap up is this. If this does turn out to be true, of course, innocent until proven guilty. This is still currently all alleged, conduct here. That, like, we don't have proof of this yet. But if this does turn out to be true, I really do wish justice for all the victims, man. Obviously, nobody should have this stuff happen to them. That goes without saying. I don't doubt that we will be doing more streams about this coming up. So if you enjoyed this stream, man, please make sure you're subscribed. Of course, everybody in the chat is already subscribed. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Let's get that algorithm and blow this channel up. We're almost at 50K. And I'm on every day. So if anything new happens tomorrow, I'll be covering it. New interviews up on the channel now, new videos. We got a bunch of stuff coming. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So take care. Have a great night. We'll catch you later.